The San Francisco 49ers defeat the Detroit Lions 34-31. Dan Campbell is an idiot. I'm just going to start the video off with this. Dan Campbell is an idiot. I mentioned last week in the divisional playoff analysis video that I hated, oh my god, dropping my phone, that I hated this dude's aggressive play style. Okay? I've hated watching this dude go for it when he doesn't need to, time and time again, all season long. 4th and 1 at the goal line, or 4th and 2 when they're in the red zone. Fake punts. I think he did a fake punt against, I think he dialed up a fake punt against Green Bay, and then there was a game against Dallas that they should have lost, or that he tried to lose. They're at the goal line. Dallas stops them like 3 times. No, let's see. They scored a touchdown, and they're trying to do a 2-point conversion. And Dallas, they don't get it. They get like 3 penalties, and they still go for it. But eventually they got it. But it's like, why are you trying to go for it? Just kick the extra point, right? Thankfully, they won the game, so he looks like a genius, right? Well, to me, he still looks like an idiot. And in this game, he should have fucking kicked the field goal. So you have the momentum. You've hit San Francisco with a haymaker. You hold them to 3 points, 24-10, starting out the second half. You go down the field. You're in field goal range. You go for it. It's 4th and 2. You're in field goal range, and you go for it. Josh Reynolds drops a pass. Now, yes, he should have caught it, but he shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. Kick the fucking field goal. Get those 3 points that you lost back. Go back up 17 points. Keep making San Francisco work, okay? Don't let the crowd get back into the game. Don't give them any momentum. You're on the road with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. You're in a good position. Get the 3 points. And then, once San Francisco erased the 17-point lead, they're up 3. You have a chance to kick the field goal once again, but this time tie the game up. But yet you go for it again. Dumb, stupid. This guy, at the end of the day, is going to be the main reason. Of course, it wasn't all on him. You know, football's a team sport. It's never on one guy. But this moron, and if you can't tell, I guess you can say that I'm not a Dan Campbell fan. But this moron is going to be the biggest reason as to why Detroit doesn't win a title. This could have been their year. This could have been their year. This could have been the year that the Cinderella story for Detroit, the team that hasn't had a whole lot of playoff success, they have a chance to go to the first Super Bowl in franchise history. They have a chance to play Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs that have ruled the AFC for the past few seasons now. Shock the world by beating them, you know, in the whole Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift bullshit once and for all. Well, at least for this season. But no, this dumbass chooses to go for it. He chooses to not get the 6 points. They lost by 3. So if you get the 6 points, the score is probably 37-34, and Detroit goes on and wins. They compete for their first title. Jared Goff is back in the Super Bowl. The city of Detroit is cheering, and they're all happy and celebrating, getting drunk and doing God knows what else. And then there's talk about should Kyle Shanahan be fired, and is Brock Purdy the guy, and all this old bullshit. But no, you choose to go for it rather than put your team in a good position to win the football game. If Dan Campbell gets fired one day, I would imagine that every single football fan would be like, no, do not sign this dude. Don't sign him. So there's my Dan Campbell rant, my Dan Campbell trashing. Detroit, let's see, get my notes here. Detroit start off the game hot. They were sharp. They were punching San Francisco in the mouth on the ground. They finished the game with a total of 182 yards rushing. David Montgomery, he was good. He had 15 rushing attempts, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, even though he only had 45 yards, he had some impressive runs. He had one rushing touchdown. Although he did have a fumble, which was unfortunate, and it came in the second half when Detroit was trying to hold off the San Francisco 49ers comeback. It looked like a botched snap. Jared Goff and Gibbs wasn't on the same page. He didn't really have secure of the football, and it got punched loose, and San Francisco recovered and scored another touchdown. Jamison Williams scored on that reverse play to get things going for Detroit in the beginning of the game on their first drive. He also had 25 yards receiving. Jahmyr Gibbs had 11 yards receiving. Montgomery had 20 yards receiving. In Detroit, they were just dominating San Francisco at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, especially on offense. They couldn't get pressure on Jared Goff. Every time they tried to blitz, he was able to find somebody over the middle. They were getting chunk plays on the ground. And then the second half came and things went to shit. Josh Reynolds had 2 drops. That fourth down conversion, he dropped a pass, and then he dropped another one that would have given Detroit the first down. This was when San Francisco was back in the game and the crowd was into it and all the momentum was on San Francisco's side. They just choked. They just self-destructed and collapsed. And they couldn't cash in on the opportunities. In the second half, in the second half, I can't say this dude's name. Ifitu Melifonwu had a chance to sack Purdy. This was when they were at the 20-yard line, I believe. They had a chance to sack Brock Purdy, put them closer to their own end zone. He doesn't get him on the ground, and he finds Juszczyk on the sideline. Brock Purdy overthrows Brandon Ayuk and Kendall Vildor. He had a chance to pick it off. It deflects off of him, and Brandon Ayuk makes an unbelievable adjustment to the football, and San Francisco ends up scoring on that drive. So even though San Francisco was coming back, Detroit still had opportunities to thwart their comeback, capitalize on those opportunities. They couldn't get Brock Purdy on the ground, even though they sacked him 2 times. They could have had potentially 4 sacks. I'm not a Lions fan, but this one hurt me a little bit because I got behind this team. You want to see teams like Detroit. You want to see stories like the one that they had, a team that hasn't been in the playoffs in God knows how long. They've been irrelevant for so long. They were so close to getting to their first Super Bowl in franchise history, and they just couldn't do it. Jared Goff, 25 for 41, 273 yards, 1 touchdown. I thought he was good. He was a little shaky in the second half. Kind of had some throws that were inaccurate. Jamison Williams had that rushing touchdown, but he was targeted 3 times, 2 receptions, 25 yards. Amon St. Brown, 87 yards receiving. Sam Laporta, 97 yards. They had a couple drops as well over the middle. As soon as they caught the ball, they were met with contact and they couldn't hold on to it. And in those moments, you want your receivers to make those types of plays. In an NFC championship game, you want your guys to make the impossible plays or the tough plays. San Francisco, I don't think they're going to win the championship. I'm just going to say that right now. The way that they've looked, not just against Detroit on Sunday, but against Green Bay, and then they went on a 3-game losing streak during the season, and they didn't rise up to the challenge against Baltimore on Christmas Day. It's like this team just comes out lackadaisical. They come out kind of not ready to play, not focused, and it seems like it takes them to play when they're about to lose. Brock Purdy, 20 for 31, 267 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. I am not sold on this dude. I look at Brock Purdy and I see a guy who is okay. He's in a situation to where he benefits off of guys like Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. He's around playmakers that can create yards after the catch, and he just needs to do just enough. And I think that if someone isn't wide open, he struggles. If he's forced to make a tough throw, he can't do it. But in this game, once again, there were moments to where he needed to make a play, and he did that mostly with his legs. 48 yards rushing. He had a throw to Juszczyk to where he was just scrambling around in the backfield, and he found him at the last minute. And then he had a terrible throw that Juwan Jennings one-handed saved him, threw it across his body, and that was like his only catch of the game. But I haven't really been too impressed with Brock Purdy this postseason. I don't think he's the guy that the media has made him out to be, and people have made him out to be. When he beat Brady last season, because football's not a team sport, it's a one-on-one contest, right? There's no DBs, there's no left guards, right tackles, centers, linebackers, running backs, no coaching staff. It's just 2 quarterbacks on the field competing against each other. But when he beat Brady, he's the guy, and he's going to be the next best thing, and yada, 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 and I don't see it. I just see a guy who just does enough. He's in a good position. Kudos to him, though. He has made plays, and he has helped San Francisco get back to the Super Bowl, so I can't take that away from him. He's going to have to be better because he's going up against a Kansas City Chiefs defense, I would say is like top 3 in the league. And if he comes out, hell, if the whole team of San Francisco comes out like they have been these past 2 playoff games, they're going to lose. Christian McCaffrey, in my opinion, who should be the MVP, the workhorse for this team. 20 rushing attempts, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, 42 yards receiving. He was a beast as always. Deebo Samuel, 89 yards, 8 receptions. Everyone else was kind of quiet except for Brandon Ayuk. He saved Brock Purdy on that deep ball that he overthrew. He had 3 receptions, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Kittle, 27 yards. Feels like he's so irrelevant in this offense. I don't know. He can feel forgotten at times. Nick Bosa had 2 sacks. The defense got it going late. Niners are finally in the Super Bowl. I will be rooting for the Niners even though I don't think they're going to win because I don't hate the Chiefs, but I'm tired of the Chiefs. And now, can you imagine the lead up to the Super Bowl with this whole Taylor Swift bullshit, this Swiftie bullshit? I think that's going to take over football coverage, Super Bowl football coverage. The media is going to be more focused on Taylor Swift and what the fuck she's doing with Travis and her fan base, and it's going to be so annoying. I'm seeing YouTube recommends me E News, and I see a quote like a few weeks ago from Patrick Mahomes saying that she's great and I'm glad she's part of the team. And thankfully people were trashing it like, is she a wide receiver? Is she a player? So it's going to be insufferable, and I am not going to look forward to it. So come on, San Francisco, in this Taylor Swift Kansas City Chief nightmare. So those are my thoughts on this game. Please like and subscribe. That is it. I am out.